Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss the top 10 remaining releases of 2024. I have Fireborn with us. Fire, how you doing today, man?
Hello. I'm not dead yet.
We're not dead yet, and guess what? So are the movie industry, right? Considering we just had one of the biggest flops we've ever seen, which was Borderlands. Yeah, that's
Oh man, yeah. I'm glad
wow.
we don't have to live through that one again.
And we posted another video discussing Concord, which is another major flop in the industry, so that was quite embarrassing. I mean,
Yeah.
I see no matter what, we can't keep having losses like this because this impacts all of us. Like,
It does.
everybody in the industry doesn't win when we see money mishandled like this. It's crazy.
Yeah, makes them less likely to take chances on new things.
Less likely for other people to make money. What if we want a true, let's say we want Joker 3 because Joker 2 is amazing, but they're like, well, you see, according to calculations, Borderlands didn't do well. And like they start throwing random like excuses not to do it because they're afraid of failure. Because I mean, yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot. So let's get into the list. This is going to go in chronological order, but based on each month, we're going to pick a movie. So the first one is September 6th, Beetlejuice. Actually, this is the movie I'm most excited about for the remainder of the year, to be honest.
That one, yeah, it's definitely one of the top ones. It's probably the one that I think has the least chance of disappointing me by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah, I've wanted this sequel. I guess it's pretty much a sequel, right? From the trailers of what I've seen.
Yeah, it's a return to the same family, same house.
Yeah,
but generations down the line.
And we got everyone pretty much back from the new cast, but it looks like we have some new exciting stuff in the film itself.
Yeah. And I mean, Michael Keaton has always been a top-notch actor to me. I love him in most everything I've ever seen him in. So I'm already, all in just on Keaton alone.
His performance as Beetlejuice is amazing. Amazing. And yeah, he's an amazing Batman. I think he was the best Bruce Wayne.
I do too.
Out of all of them, I feel like a lot of Batmans tend to undercut Bruce Wayne. I think that he embodied a both balance of Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yeah. Did a great job. Loved it.
Now, next up that we have on the list, which I kept researching, but there's not a set date for this, Joker 2. It just says that it's coming out in October. Now, how do you feel about? I was a big fan of Joker 1. Like, I mean, first off, we talked about how everything was breaking records and everything. This broke records. It was finally topped by Deadpool and Wolverine, but Joker 2. How do you feel? Are you optimistic about this coming out?
I want to be, but no. No, I think this is probably the biggest like coin toss out of all of them on the list right now for me, because I feel like that my biggest fear is that they try to ride the high of the first movie so much that it loses all the life inside the movie, because they just want you to be like, you remember the other Joker? We did a great job on that one, didn't we? Here's a new Joker that's just the same. And so I'm afraid it's going to be like too much of the same thing without pushing the story forward realistically.
That's how I felt as well. I got really nervous when I saw that. I mean, the trailer did sway me differently. I love the colors and everything that they're doing, but I don't think it's going to be a Joaquin Phoenix issue. I really think it'll be just a scripting problem. Can they keep the momentum?
Yep.
You feel the same way?
Yeah, I felt like the entire first movie, what really sold it was almost like the manic pacing. Like it felt like even in the slow parts, it felt like it was always ramping. And so it got to the end of Joker, and it just felt like just a giant emotional explosion of just like everything going on. And I don't know how you come from from those scenes and go into a full like emotional reset to start over. Like I feel like you can't come back from that ending and go and come back into it like, oh, everything's fine again. Oh, it has to excel again.
And then the problem isn't, I'm not saying like Harley Quinn is the problem here, but it's also shared screen time. There's going to be a lot of weight to ensure that Lady Gaga essentially brings to the table, because if she takes 30 minutes away from more Joker time because we need to understand her backstory, right? Then it does have me a little concerned, because I'm not saying that she can't act. She's definitely got it in her, but it's like, is the version of Harley Quinn that we're going to see going to be exciting enough, right?
Right.
Especially when they said that it's not good. I even saw the director say it's not the Harley Quinn that we know at all. You know, the gum chewing, high pitched, in your face, brash, funny. You know, we're not seeing that version, which is fine because the universe is a little different, right? I mean, it's Joker.
It's very different. Yeah, my biggest concern is the fact that like it's ultimately just not going to be able to keep pace with itself, and either one, all the she'll come off too flat, which will impact heavily
Yeah,
the like emotional drive in the movie, or they'll spend so much time on her that we won't get story progression enough to feel like the movie was worth time spent. It's why all the action hero movies now, all the like Marvel movies,
hmm
are like each individual movie introduces a character and then they tie him in later. I'm afraid that this one's gonna not have enough time, or the pacing is gonna be so bad because it has to be drawn out for it to get enough information in you.
I agree. Now, number 3. Speaking of kind of going that direction, Venom, The
Mm-hmm.
Last Dance. So it looks like this is the final one. It's already a trilogy, so technically this is like the 4th film, if I'm not mistaken. You know, Eddie and Venom are on the run, hunted by both worlds, with the net closing in, and the duo are forced a devastating decision that will bring the curtains down on Venom and Eddie's last dance. So they're really kind of adding some closure to this. Because I know, am I wrong in the thinking this is already trilogy? This is the problem that I have with Venom. I think that, you know, they bring a lot of energy to Venom, but I don't feel like
Right.
that. It's, I don't know what worse. I think you know what I'm getting at, right? It's almost like the same issue with Joker, where it's just Joaquin Phoenix bringing the energy, and so I'm blanking on his name, even though I know his name because he was in Mad Max Fury Road. Right? What's the actor's main name? I'm blanking on it.
Are you talking about the Venom actor?
Yes.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, thank you. Amazing actor. I don't know why I was blanking on his name, because that's why I'm like, I know all his filmography, Inception's, you know, Mad Max Fury Road, but he carries the film, and so
Yeah. I mean, he's an amazing actor.
yeah. So I'm hoping that this is more or less his vision of what he wants for the role, but I am kind of excited for it.
So this will be the 3rd one in this series. So there was Venom, the
Yep.
first one with Tom Hardy. There was Venom: Let There Be Carnage, which is the second one featuring Woody Harrelson.
Okay, that's why. So this is
And
the 3rd.
then, like, he was in Spider-Man 3, played by Eric from that '90s show,
Mhm.
aka Topher Grace.
Yeah, and then he was
but-
also in the Spider-Man film Homecoming, right? Or which?
Yeah,
one of
in
them.
just a scene.
Yeah, I mean that's why I feel like he was in multiple films. That's my misunderstanding, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is going to be probably from like a studio standpoint, the 3rd and final contractual movie. So I think depending on how this one does will determine his existence inside of the greater universe, because these are all still owned by Sony. So these
Yeah.
are still a Sony production. And the reason, and probably the whole reason they even threw him into the Spider-Man world is because the Spider-Man world was ending its 3 contract thing with Marvel.
Mhm.
So there's still a good chance that we could either see Venom show up into a Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man into a Venom movie, both of them move to Marvel, both of them move away from Marvel. Like there's a lot of things up in the air right
That
now.
makes sense.
And so this one is probably going to have a major impact on that side of the Spider-Verse that people aren't even really aware of right now, just on a legal stance and who owns what. Like this one could be massive or terrible for all the Spider fans.
I mean, well, look at the trailer here. It's either, I really think it goes to spectrum. It's either going to be the best or the worst. Because look at Spider-Man 3. Usually trilogies, they either are one of the best or one of the worst. There is just no in between at that point.
Nope.
This one's a sequel coming up, number 4. This is November 22nd, Gladiator 2.
Yep.
I'm surprised that we're getting a Gladiator 2. I mean, I wrote it down because it is a big one, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of
feels
shocked that
late.
yeah, it's like awesome. We're getting Gladiator 2, but it just kind of feels like now, you know, it's taken a long time. It's kind of strange, but I mean, I guess
I mean, as we look at the list, it's not terribly surprising because everything that people are wanting to see is absolute nostalgia bait, and you'll see that as we continue going through this. It's literally like, you remember you liked this thing, please come see it.
Yeah, there's a bit of struggle in Hollywood about always just doing sequels or unoriginal. I would call it unoriginal content, you know, or unoriginal ideas. Just like what will bring them back into the seats, and if the fear. This is why we start off the video with trying to do something original, but stop failing at it, because every time something original does come out and there's a failure on it, this is what we get more of: sequels and this kind of stuff. Because that kind of leads into number 5, which is Wicked, November 22nd, which is actually on the same day. A Broadway musical just turned into a movie.
Yep.
Is that really creative? I mean, I mean, really, originally it was, sure, but bringing it to the main screen, I mean, I know a lot of people are going to be excited about it. Broadway background here, sure. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm just kind of like, I know it's big. I mean, I saw Wicked on Broadway. I did some stuff for Wicked.
How long was Wicked on Broadway? Like, how long was the production?
It's still up. It's still up. To my understanding, it's still up.
No, not like how long has it been running, but like how long is like one show?
Oh, God. 2.5 hours to 3 hours for like the show itself. It's pretty long.
Right. Yeah. And see, that's my concern is like a lot of these things, because you're not in the room with them, it's not as easy to feel that like
energy,
palpable tension and energy. And so I just fear that like trying to eat, because they're going to want to cut it down. There's no way the movie hits 3 hours, right? So we're looking probably 2 to 2.5. So you're going to lose 30 minutes of exposition that you would normally have. So what are they going to cut? And what are you going to lose? And it's going to, I don't know. I don't see a lot of times where they can take true Broadway shows, convert them to movies, and it still work out in like a favorable way.
I would say so. You know, it kind of sounds like we're being such Debbie Downers. Our most excited piece was Beetlejuice, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this list is, it's a little tough. It is a little rough.
Well, I'm excited for the next one, so it's okay.
Okay, I mean, there you go. Yeah. So, but like, I mean, I'm excited for Wicked, but it is true. The Broadway stage, I mean, when I've seen it, it just gave off such a different energy. You know, it's the set pieces, the work. But like, can you replicate that with CGI and everything? I hope so. I hope to be like really excited for it. You know, I really do.
Yeah, I mean, same thing for me for like Phantom of the Opera. I saw that one on Broadway in New York, and amazing. And I cannot watch a single version of, I don't care how many times you put Gerard Butler inside of the mask. I don't care. It's not the same.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I've ever resonated with any of the Phantom of the Opera movies. I mean, the Broadway show, sure, 100%. I agree. It's just some things are just harder to translate when you need to be in the room to experience the emotion. Mm-hmm. So number 6, I'm going to pass to you. This is November 27th. Moana 2. I haven't seen the first one.
Moana is amazing.
What did I just call it?
Moana. I don't know.
Whatever I called it. Somebody's going to tear me to shreds in the comment section.
I hope so.
I'm already going to be torn to shreds. I already said Venom has 4 movies, so I've already screwed up.
You were kind of there.
Yeah.
Moana is one of Disney's first of their series of a princess with no prince, which for their Disney princesses is great, because I think that we have already played out the whole idea of like damsel in distress gets saved by prince, gets right off into a sunset happy ending thing.
Yeah.
And so Moana is the first one, is a great tale that is just daughter of chief, grows up, finds her way to save the world. Moana 2 is just the continuation of that story, and the entire first one is absolutely hilarious. Her counterpart is played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who is hilarious.
I heard he's great in it. I that's why I'm kind of like ashamed of myself for not watching the first one. But
there's a chicken that's played by Tudyk. So if you know anything about Tudyk, you know he's amazing. So, he plays a chicken. It's great.
Listen, I hear the word chicken and I'm like already like interested.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like chickens. I know that they're very mean creatures.
And they're dumb. They're dumb and mean. They want to eat you.
Sounds just like me.
Yeah, exactly. It's my life goal to be a chicken.
That is my spirit animal. Is a chicken. It really is. I think they're funny too.
Oh yeah.
I really do. Okay, number 7, Lord of the Rings: The War of Rohirrim. I'm mispronouncing this. December 13th.
Rohirrim.
Rohirrim.
Only Tolkien could go ahead and do this. The man who decides to write a language for a book.
Listen, I enjoyed the first trilogy, The Hobbit.
Yeah.
It was a little torn on, to be honest.
We're talking about movies, right?
Yeah, the movies, The Hobbit, the Hobbit trilogy, and the original 3 movies that come out. I read the books. Yeah. I always mispronounce stuff all the time, so please don't attack me for it. I didn't really like.
It's not your natural tongue, you know.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy The Hobbit as much. I thought the books were great, but the movie just drug out for me. I felt like what they did is they took the book and were like, hey, let's try to drag it out as much as possible. So I hope that they do right by this. I know it's animated, which is interesting.
Oh, weird. I did not expect that.
Yeah, it's an animated. I don't know if it's like a part-time release or what it is, but it is released nonetheless. So I would consider anything Lord of the Rings pretty big, because I know the other thing that they have is just what was the one, the series they did on Netflix, that not Netflix, Amazon Prime, that had like a lot of divisive nature to it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I didn't
Yeah,
watch it because I was a little
didn't
worried
either.
about the story being extended, and I was waiting for the series so I could just binge watch it. You know what I mean? Whenever the time
Everyone told me
came.
they hated it every time I heard about it. So I was just like, I'm not gonna waste my time.
I heard the same thing, and I mean, I'll still give a series like that a shot later down the line, but I just kind of, everyone's very busy, so it's like, okay, well, I'll wait a little bit,
Yeah.
Next up is, I mean, this is a jam-packed month, to be honest. End of the year, we're looking at December. Next up, which I saw this trailer whenever I went to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine, Mufasa, the Lion King. I thought honestly it was the sequel. I thought they were doing Lion King 2, but then I saw Mufasa, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, they're doing a prequel.
Lion King 0.5.
Yeah, which is that, I don't know. That was pretty much how I'm reacting right now. It was kind of how I felt, and I was like, wow,
Yep.
all right, cool. I mean, what's weird is I think the CGI does look better than the first Lion King. When they did it, I'm not gonna I don't know what it is, but it looks creepy. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way about the Lion King remake, where it's just like, I know that it's supposed to be realistic, but it almost looks like nightmare fuel at times. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It just irks me in a weird way, even though I know that it's done in a very detailed way. I just know that lions don't look like that. So
Yeah,
just
it's the uncanny valley. It's that thing that's close enough to being realistic, but not quite enough.
Yeah, it confuses me. It throws me off for a loop. How do you feel about this? Are you gonna go see this?
I mean, I'll probably end up seeing it. It'll probably be an at-home thing. I'm most interested mostly in that only because I want to see the Mufasa Scar early childhood.
That would be good to see.
part.
I'm so with that. I'm actually with that.
Because I'm expecting to see Scar get his scar because Scar's name isn't Scar in The Lion King.
Yeah.
His name is I don't want to butcher it here.
While you pull it up, I will say that now that you brought that up, it makes me that more interested, because I wonder if they're going to be like really close friends. You know what I mean? And then something like just drives them apart, which is what causes this whole thing. Kind of like a Star Wars thing. I don't know. Seeing the prequel before he becomes Darth Vader.
If I remember correctly, his name is Ascari.
Oh,
But
okay.
It literally means trash.
Oh, wow. Oof. Wow.
If I remember that correctly. But yeah, and so he obviously is not happy about that.
You made me more excited to see this. I'm actually more tempted to see it. I think the CGI is... It seems like maybe they'll go less... I don't know. For me, it looks a little different in a good way, and I think that I'll be more inclined to watch it. Next up, we have, speaking of nightmare fuel, the first version of Sonic was definitely nightmare fuel, but they have reached Sonic the Hedgehog 3, December 20th, the same day. This is also going to be acted by Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog, which is very fitting because Shadow's like, I'm Shadow. Are you Shadow? And I could see Keanu Reeves saying, more guns. Need more guns. I could just see it, especially since there's a video game with Sonic or Shadow the Hedgehog literally holding guns. So... yeah. What's crazy is that there's no plot for this movie listed, so I don't really know what this movie's about, besides, hey, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Shadow, Keanu Reeves. That's all I got.
That's all anybody got. Also, Scar's name, Ascari, means soldier. I checked it.
Oh,
okay.
So it's not trash.
It's not trash. That's good. Yeah, someone had told me before it was trash, so I'm going to have to find them and chastise them.
Maybe they just were mad because they thought the movie was trash.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't understand what their plan is here with Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Maybe they're thinking that because they're adding Shadow, they can't talk too much about it until it gets there. Shadow's origin story is a bit dark for a kids movie.
It is. I mean, he has a whole, like I said, he's got a whole video game dedicated where he's blasting things with guns. He's like, I'm fast. And where's my Glock? I don't know. It's pretty much what it is. So just imagine Sonic, hey, Shadow, what are you doing with that Glock? I'm going to pop a cap in you, friend. And it's just I don't know, what kind of version of Sonic are we about to watch? And Knuckles comes out and he's going to be from Uganda, which is the horrible meme that goes around,
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
They have a TV show. There is a TV show with Knuckles, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there is. Unless that was a fever dream. I'm gonna have to go
Maybe.
look it up. Okay, last but not least, and then we'll go into the bonus round, is Nosferatu, the bring back of... I know at one point they wanted to do like a whole cinematic universe of all these like horror characters, like werewolves and everything like that, vampires, and just create the cinematic horror film universe. But Nosferatu's kind of coming out on his own rather than being that. So, I mean, hey, I think it might be interesting. It looks like, I mean, they're releasing it on Christmas, which anything that releases on Christmas, they are expecting a massive net return.
Yeah.
So I put on the list because nobody releases a film on Christmas unless you're saying, yeah, we're going to win. Like, what do you got there that you feel so confident you're going to win by releasing December 25th? Like, that's a pretty bold statement there.
Remember the last movie I know that was released on December 25th was The Interview.
Wasn't Star Wars also released on December 25th?
Probably one of them, yeah.
I know one of them was.
Yeah.
The Interview, I never saw that. Is that a good movie or a bad movie?
That's Seth Rogen and
Seth Rogen. Okay. I mean, he's been in good movies.
And James Franco, and it's the one where they like run a really like raunchy interview show where like Eminem comes out and admits to being gay on their show, and then
that's where that comes from. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
And then they get hired by the like CIA or FBI or somebody to go assassinate Kim Jong-un. So
wow.
Yeah, it gets out of hand really quick.
Well, this is a top 10 list. We're going to speed run some bonus stuff that we saw that we wanted to mention here, which I don't know how it's going to perform per se, but we kind of chose the top 10 remaining films, pick some of them from the months and just to talk about. And we'll have everything timestamped in the description down below so you can see that. And the bonus speed round, Smile 2. I've yet to see this movie. I know that this is coming out later this year. I know you saw the first one, right, Fire? You said it was good?
Yeah, the first one, it was a really good psychological horror style.
Good. And then we have the film number 2, Transformer 1. I'll be honest, I know all the Transformers movies do well at the box office, but always receive horrible reviews. I know that they're popcorn movies, Michael Bay, in your face, loud, explosions as much as possible, and that's pretty much what comes with the film itself. Doesn't mean it's bad, doesn't mean it's good. It's just, it is what it is. That's what you're getting.
Yeah, it's basically an excuse to have a bellyache from popcorn.
Yeah, we have the horror films, which I don't know how they're going to perform. We have Never Let Go with Halle Berry, which is September 20th, and we have Speak No Evil, which is the actor from X-Men First Class. What's his name? McAvoy, right?
Yeah, James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. September 13th, which is 2 horror films. And then we got Craven, December 3rd. Yeah, excuse me, which is the Marvel villain film, December 13th, which is. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. Marvel has just been missing the mark consistently, so I'm a little like hesitant. But I mean, there's also a really good cast behind it, so that's always a positive.
Aaron Taylor from Kick-Ass, and a bunch of other people. We have seen the first shot of Rhino on one of the stills, and it looks absolutely horrid.
Oh gosh,
the rest of everything else is looking pretty good so far. This is the first time that Marvel is going about basically introducing the villain as a main character of the film. So without it being like, just the main enemy of the film, he's like the actual guy you're following. So I'm always interested in seeing the dynamic of accepting as the main character is the bad guy.
I just wish there was a different villain, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I follow a lot of Marvel stuff. Like I would like a dedicated Magneto film. Or maybe just one following like Thanos would be cooler, like almost like a prequel to Thanos, like how he became the mindset he got into, or just anything else, like I'm sure there's a lot of fans who are probably fans of this individual. Comment down below, tell us we're wrong. We're always open to that conversation. I just don't know the weight. I guess Venom is one. Maybe we're wrong, but Venom is a villain. I see. That's what I mean. Like I like that.
He's an anti-hero still, though.
Well, I guess Magneto would be too.
Yeah.
I guess true villain, like evil villain.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of those in comic books.
I mean, if they're just true evil, then they're probably less interesting. You got to have a dynamic, right? Well, that's our list. I'm sorry it's a little longer. We had a lot of input and thoughts. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what movie you are excited for that's coming out for the remainder of the year. Let us know what we're right about. Let us know what we're wrong about. I'm more than happy to be wrong about all these movies. It'd be great if every single one of these movies kills in the box office, and next year we have even better movies, right?
Yeah.
That's always the big win. We're only just talking wholeheartedly because we're cynical and we're old. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Checks out.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys all in the next one.